This is your man John Fortune, your host of the Frustrated Fan Sports Show, and today we're in a conundrum, people, because we're in this situation where we're trying to find out if Jayden is going to play or if he's not going to play. And currently, right now, we still don't know. Today, Dan Quinn had a press conference. He talked about how good Jayden Daniels looked in practice. You know, they ramped him up and everything like that. Currently, right now, we're still not certain if Jayden is going to play. He said that the team and the coaching staff and the training staff will all be still evaluating him up to 48 hours. So it sounds like it's going to go all the way up to game time before they say if he's in or out. The thing about that is that I think that they're holding on to it because of CBS, because I think CBS doesn't want people to not watch the game. So it's like if they throw out there the fact that will he play, will he not play, is he going to play, will he possibly play, then it's like they have a bigger chance of keeping the audience, especially at the beginning and the start of the game versus the run of the game. Because if it's like if he's not able to play, then all of a sudden you got all these people that are already clocked in and looking at the game, so you have less of a chance of them turning the channel versus if you sit up there and just say he's not playing early, and then most people may not even tune into the game. So I do think that it has some of that element involved because they really don't want to ruin the chance of the viewership of the game, even though I know everybody in this area is going to still be watching the game. But if they want other people to be watching the game, especially a game that's been flexed to 4:30 or 4 o'clock in the evening game, that is something that, you know, they're really going to hold to their to close to themselves, so they don't sit up there and ruin the chances of knowing if he's going to play or not. So, but this is going to be a big game. Should he play or should he not play? If Jayden plays, it's still a big game. If Jayden doesn't play, it's still a big game. This is a top level passing defense. This is a defense that does not play when it comes to actually making it a point of proving people that you can't throw on them. I mean, I remember back in 2019, I remember evaluating Jaylen Johnson and telling people that he was the best corner in that draft. And a lot of people thought I was crazy. And sure enough, he goes, I think Jaylen Johnson went in the second round. And when Jeff Okudah didn't work out, and I forgot who the other corner was that was in the draft that time, but when Jeff Okudah didn't work out, I kept telling people, I told y'all, Jaylen Johnson was the most aggressive. He was the best. He had defensive flexibility. You know, it was like, you know, he was the best corner in this draft, and we're facing him. You do have a couple guys who are injured, but in that secondary, but it's still a solid secondary. I mean, Tariq Stevenson has been a very solid complement. I think it's Tariq Stevenson that played opposite. Yeah, I think it's Tariq Stevenson. He's been a very good complement to Jaylen Johnson. And to be honest, this is not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the means. We probably can run the ball a lot on them, but we also know that running the ball significantly on them or a lot on them can also put us in trouble because they have a very dangerous throwing when it comes to passing. They have a very dangerous group when it comes to their receiving core. I mean, you're talking about just across the board when you think about Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, and Keenan Allen. That alone is something to worry about. So, you know, that is a very dangerous receiving core to face, and probably it's probably the most dangerous core we will see this year. Because this core, when you talk about from tight end to all three levels of their receivers, yeah, they have probably the most dangerous core we'll see. And this is why I felt that like this particular game is one where making a move for a cornerback would have been in our best interest. Because with this, even though this is going to be the most dangerous receiving core we see, you don't want people to start following this game as a measure on how to beat us, because we already know we're awful when it comes to the passing game. You know, even though it was Carolina, I get it, they don't have the receivers. Their receiving core is nowhere near what Chicago's receiving core is. And that core is a very dangerous core. And it won't matter if Mariota's in the game or Jayden is in the game. You know, they can actually mess around and they can jump on us early, just throwing the ball, and then it'll be a struggle for us to get back in the game just running the ball. Because if we're running the ball a lot, all we're doing is cutting down the clock. And in turn, that's going to probably make it even harder for us to really make an impact or even come close to scoring 30 or something points or even keep pace with them. Because that's a tough thing to do too, to keep pace with them, especially if they're throwing a lot. And they're because that's what happened to us last year. They sat up there and they threw the ball often, and they got up on us so fast and so quick it was impossible for us to recover. This can happen again, but again, you're talking about that receiving core is nowhere near the receiving core Chicago had last year, is nowhere near the receiving core that they got this year. Like, their receiving core last year was just as bad, but this is dangerous. And you're talking about a team that has struggled with its cornerbacks, being able to keep cover. You know, I do feel for our guys this week. You know, I mean, they're going to be putting in a lot of work this week. I mean, they're going to be putting in a whole lot of work this week, because this is not the group to be playing around with. And it's sad to say this, because even with Jayden Daniels in the game, I do think that he does make a huge impact. But will this be the first massive amount of adversity he'll face? Because this will be the best secondary he would be seeing. Cleveland had a very good secondary, but they just wasn't on the same page. And Denzel Ward went out early. But this group, this is a very strong group as well. So, and defensively, like I said, they're a very good group as well. I mean, especially that linebacking core with Tremaine Edmonds and all that. Like, they have guys that are very, very, very dangerous. So it's not an easy game to come into and face a team that can be just as dangerous offensively, like we feel that we are offensively. So their running game isn't the greatest, so we can actually probably outpace them with that. But like I said, I worry about our secondary versus their receiving core. Their receiving core is very, very solid, very, very good. Their running game, like I said, I'm not so worried about that. I will say this: if we're able to get pressure on Caleb Williams, and I mean a lot of pressure on him, then we might have a chance, because he has shown the ability to be very erratic when it comes to him being pressured and taken out of the pocket and all that. Because we seen it even when he was at USC. When he's dealing with pressure at a rate that he's not expecting, he will play very erratic. He will overthrow guys. He will throw late. He will throw early. So again, there is a chance for us to actually win this game, but we have to actually put a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams to force him to force them to want to run the ball more, so they can think that they're gonna play action past us. But if the only way we would have a genuine chance to really beat these guys we have to sit up there and actually make it a point of making it difficult for Caleb Williams to see his open receivers. And the way we can do that is by getting as much pressure as possible on Caleb Williams. Because again, like I said, I keep repeating it, but this receiving core is very dangerous. On Washington, we have to open up throwing the ball. We have to take advantage of something in their secondary or even in their linebacking core that will make it easy for us. We all know Montez Sweat is very solid against the run. We know that. But that it's only him by himself when it comes to that. He's the only one that's actually doing that. And like I said, their secondary is very good. So we can probably find ways to probably try to emphasize the screen game a little bit more, just to get those corners and everybody kind of flowing upfield, and then try to catch them with play action on the back end, so you can take advantage of some of those cornerbacks and some of those safeties from them being in the box to all of a sudden being able to take advantage because they're in the box, throwing over top of them and keeping the plays going. So that is a strategy that I think could work. We're definitely going to have to run the ball. We're going to have to run the ball because, like I said, it will be one of those situations where if we run the ball and keep the ball away from their offense, we'll be doing well. And then if we put the pressure on Caleb to force him to be erratic in the pocket, then we might actually win the game. But I tell y'all, this is going to be one tough game. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. Like I said early in my season prediction show, I said that I wouldn't be surprised if they blew us out again. I don't feel that they might blow us out, but I feel that we're going to be in a battle. And I put it like this. If they jump on us early, we might get blown out. If we keep the game very close, or if we go up on them, then we're talking about a game that probably will come down to the end of the game, and it'll be either our defense keeping us in the win column, or it'll be our offense coming down with a last minute drive that wins us the game. So I tell y'all, man, this is going to be some game. This is going to be some game, and I can't wait. I'm excited. Y'all tell me what y'all think. How do y'all feel about this game? Do y'all feel this is going to be a blowout? Do y'all feel that if we could just keep in the game, we might, if we could just keep the game close, we will win the game? Does it make a difference between Jayden Daniels being in the game or Marcus Mariota being in the game? Y'all let me know. Other than that, this has been your man John Fortune, and this has been the Frustrated Fan Sports Show.